What is going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome back to another video here on Let's Talk Resident Evil, covering Resident Evil 4 Remake, The Mercenaries. Is it going to be in there? I'm sure it will be. But the big thing is, how are they going to make this rendition of The Mercenaries? Well, I would like them personally to make it like the original Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It worked perfectly. I love picking up all the times, getting the combo time, and adding to the enemy combo. Now, the thing here is Resident Evil Village brought back the Mercenaries, and to be honest with you, it was a little lackluster. It was called the Mercenaries, and there was just Ethan. There wasn't multiple characters anyway, so it really could have been called anything else, in my opinion. And they added abilities, which is kind of cool, but I personally would just like to keep that separate and have Resident Evil 4 The Mercenaries be the Mercenaries we all know and love. And I put so many hours into that mode on so many consoles and so many versions of Resident Evil 4 that we have, because there's so many, and it's just always fun. I love it, and I wouldn't even be, shocked if they added a co-op mode in the Mercenaries, because like the Resident Evil 5 and 6 Mercenaries, say what you want about those games, but the Mercenaries, they're fun. And I always like the minigame, because I mean, it's just badass to be able to rack up a combo with your buddy, get double or triple S's, whatever you're doing. I love that, and I think if they added that in this, rendition of the Mercenaries, that would be kind of fun, because, Capcom obviously focuses on multiplayer games nowadays, or these online multiplayer stuff. So having some kind of multiplayer, mode, at least with the Mercenaries, doing solo or duo, you can just choose between the two, kind of like Resident Evil 5 and 6. Why not? It wasn't in the original because, it just wasn't online. Resident Evil 4 had no online modes. But why not change it now? I personally would think that would be awesome. If we can do Leon and Jack Krauser in the Village racking up the combo, come on. That would be so cool. Even if they just did, single player, that's fine. Like, I would be happy with that as long as it's like the original Mercenaries. But, yeah, that's just like some of my thoughts on what they can do to switch it up. And obviously each character gives you a different layout. Maybe they can make it to where you actually visit the merchant before you go out, so it's like Village, where you see the Duke before you leave. Maybe you see the merchant this time. Maybe each character has a selection of weapons, or maybe it just will be character based, you know what I mean? I think something like the original in terms of the gameplay, because even if they added the merchant in there, it wouldn't change the gameplay too much in the Mercenaries. The abilities would add a whole different thing, and that's why I think that only kind of works in like the first person. Like, I understand why some of that stuff had to be there. Some of it did help you in terms of like, enemy destruction, and having, the pistol master being able to just kill everyone with the pistol, and having the magic magazine. So there's a lot of things they could add to it, and it still probably would be fun. I wouldn't, disregard it just because it added some of those features in there, but I would be really happy if they just kind of kept it like it was and just gave us those characters and gave us the maps. Having the maps back would be really cool. We already know how some of this stuff is going to look in the RE engine, and it's going to look phenomenal. So I'm sure they'll bring back, the maps, and we'll probably have to do a bunch of stuff to get the unlockables in there. But that's what was fun about it, was unlocking everything. And I'm really excited to see what Capcom does for the Mercenaries in Resident Evil 4. What are your thoughts on the Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries mode? Do you like Raid mode? Do you like Mercenaries? Do you like Extreme Battle? What's your favorite? Are you excited for a potential co-op Mercenaries mode, which would be really cool? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell, and stay tuned as the road to Resident Evil 4 Remake continues. A big shout out to everyone that supports me on Patreon and YouTube memberships. YouTube members grants you access to voting on content with custom badges and emojis for chats. Patreon gives you the same voting privilege, but even more. Gain access to uncut recording sessions, weekly exclusive Patreon shows, and live hangouts on Patreon. Tiers start at just $1. Thank you so much for your support, and I will catch you next time.